This video is kindly sponsored by HOTO Tools.
Hello friends, Katie here from Salvaged by K. Scott. I am a full-time furniture flipper, but I have recently just moved with my family from Ontario all the way out to New Brunswick on the east coast of Canada, and our new home actually came with an incredible self-contained basement apartment. Our plan for this space is actually not to rent it out, but to make it over and bring it up to date so that when our friends and family who we left back in Ontario feel like joining us all the way out here for a little bit of a vacation by the beach, they've got a cool place to stay. So we've only been here for about a month, and there has been so much going on that I've really been overwhelmed and not sure where or how to start with this apartment makeover. So today I decided to kind of just throw myself in and start working on the smallest space in this apartment, which is the teeny tiny bathroom. Just like every other part of this house, it's all in good working order, it's just not cute. And that has to change since this isn't a space that's going to be getting a ton of heavy daily use. I want to try and rework what's already here with some easy DIYs and budget-friendly solutions and not get into any sort of extreme renovations. I'm not going to do anything with the shower other than give it a good deep clean and a new shower curtain. I want to paint the walls to really brighten it up in here since there's no window. I'm going to paint the vanity cabinet, replace the chunky medicine cabinet with something more modern, find a new light fixture, and add a peel and stick surface to the countertop. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the floor tile in here yet. But I think once I've got everything else painted, I can get a better read on the color of it and decide if I want to keep the tiles as they are, paint them, or maybe even do some vinyl tile decals. And now that I've talked all of us through the plan, let's get to work. I'm going to be doing a lot of the prep work in here with the help of my new HOTO hand tool set. HOTO is short for Home Tools, and they have just launched a few different versions of these little tool sets that come in a really sleek, modern ABS case, and they're the perfect way to keep all of your most used tools organized and at your fingertips for whatever type of household jobs you've got on your to-do list. This hand tool set comes with an adjustable wrench, a self-lock measuring tape, a needle nose plier, a manual screwdriver with 10 alloy steel bits, and a magnetic hammer with an adjustable rubber cap. Make sure to use my link and discount code in the description box of this video for $10 off at hototools.com. All right, I think I have removed and taken down everything that I need to. I'm just gonna go up to the garage and see if I can find some drywall spackle to fill in all the holes that I have now. Then I'll do a quick little cleanup. Once the drywall spackle is sanded and dry, I'm ready to start painting. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. it's day 2 of this bathroom makeover. Yesterday I got all of the drywall compound sanded smooth and cleaned up, and I put 2 coats of just plain white, straight out of the can paint on the walls. The shower turns out to be not so bright white as I thought it was. It is definitely almond, which is not ideal, but still not bad enough to go ripping out an entire tub and shower surround just because it's off-white instead of being bright white. So we're just gonna live with that. The shower curtain will mostly make that go away anyways. I am definitely not loving the floors, but I don't quite know what I want to do. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and sourcing to find a solution for that. It may be another video in the future. Today I'm going to work on painting the vanity cabinets, and then I'm gonna have Doug come in and put up a new light fixture, swap out the faucet on the sink, and I also need to figure out the peel and stick vinyl to cover the counter. I decided to start with the cabinet, and I'm going to approach it like anything else that I paint, cleaning it with a degreaser, a really light scuff sand with some medium grit sandpaper, and then I'll roll on a coat of stain blocking shellac based primer to make sure that I don't get any old stains bleeding up through my new paint. Once my primer was dry, I gave it another really quick sand and then grabbed my paint. I have had this Little Whale Baby Blue by Fusion Mineral Paint stuck in my brain lately as a really calm, peaceful, beachy vibe. I also grabbed my Zebra square brush to get into all of the tight spots up close to the toilet, and my Palm Pro because it doesn't have a big handle on it, so it should help me get in there as well. Fusion is an acrylic resin paint that has really great adhesion to most surfaces. It's also got a built-in top coat that makes it extremely durable, and it's UV resistant and waterproof once it's fully cured. So I think it's going to be perfect for this bathroom application. It's also super low VOC, so there's no paint smell at all while I'm working in this really tiny space. I ended up needing to grab a tiny craft brush to get into this space above the faux drawer where my other brushes just couldn't reach. And while the first of 2 coats of paint dried, I took the vent covers outside and cleaned them up and then sprayed them with some fresh white paint.
After second coating the cabinet, I started installing some new hardware that I picked up at Kent, which is a hardware store chain that's exclusive to the east coast of Canada. And I decided to go with a brushed nickel finish since all of the shower fixtures are silver already, and we're not going to be replacing those right now. Doug also installed this new light fixture for me, also from Kent.
The sun has gone down, and moving right along, I want to cover the kind of off-white beige, not so nice countertop with this, which is a marble peel and stick wallpaper. And Douglas has suggested that we remove the sink from the countertop to make it a little bit easier to get it on there. So sink is coming out. Hopefully contact paper is going on. Then we'll put the sink back in.
So the sink came out, I cleaned up the gross ring that was under the seal, and then started to lay down my peel and stick contact paper from Amazon. I just peeled off a tiny bit of the backing paper at a time and really slowly pressed it down onto the countertop, making sure that I squeezed out any air pockets. I was really impressed by how well this stuck down and how easy it was to do. But once Doug started to put the sink back in, I kind of went into panic mode.
All right, I guess this is day 3 of this bathroom makeover process. Although I sort of feel like I'm starting from ground zero again. Yesterday we got a lot of stuff done. I painted the vanity cabinet. I also painted the back of the door in this beautiful baby blue color called Little Whale from Fusion. It's a color that I've had stuck in my mind since we put the offer in on this house. I wanted to use that color as a feature throughout, but it just doesn't look the same as it does upstairs where there's lots of natural daylight all the time, as it does downstairs in this little bathroom that doesn't have a window and doesn't get any natural light. It's just not reading the same as I had envisioned it in my head. The other problem that I ran into last night when I put my contact paper marble countertop on is that that was a really cool white color, and it didn't look right mixed with the warm white of the sink and the neutral white on the walls and the other white shade that is in the tub and shower surround. So I ended up ripping off my contact paper marble. I still want to do a marble look on the countertop for the vanity, but I'm going to do that with paint instead of contact paper. I'm also going to be repainting the vanity, completely changing up the design scheme that I'm going with here. I have a little bit of black, coal black from Fusion Mineral Paint as well, so I'm going to get to work. I need to prime the countertop, the laminate countertops, with some of Fusion's Ultra Grip primer to make sure that whatever I put on top makes a good bond with that. I'm going to repaint the cabinetry for the vanity with black. And then I'm gonna go digging through all of our accessories and home decor that's still in boxes from the old house and see what I can find. I think I have a mirror, a black rimmed mirror that I can use in there. Yeah, okay, let's get to work.
So I taped off the sink and the edges of the countertop and poured out a bit of Fusion's Ultra Grip primer to roll onto this laminate. Fusion sticks to pretty much anything all by itself, but they do recommend this extra gripping primer on really slick surfaces like glass or this laminate, just as some added insurance. It does need 12 hours to cure before paint, so once I got that on, I just moved on down to repainting the cabinet. I got really impatient and I did not wait the full 12 hours for this primer to cure. It got about 6 hours and I think that's going to be just fine. So I went ahead and painted on 2 coats of a warm white color called Casement. It's a way better match to the other whites in here than the original marble pattern that I had chosen. Once that base was dry, I mixed up about a tablespoon of the color Hazlewood with about half a cup of water, and I'm going to use this really washed out warm gray to make my new stone look. I had a disposable glove on the counter from my primer, so I grabbed that, but a wad of plastic wrap or tin foil or whatever you've got to crinkle up would work for this just as well. I balled it up and dipped it into my colored water and then just pounced it all over the white base as randomly as I could. And then I came back right away with a lint-free rag and did the same dabbing motion up and down to pick up any excess water and pigment and just really soften the marks. I was planning on adding some marble veining to this, but I really liked how the color combination was looking kind of like a travertine, so I decided to leave it just like this. I added a little more of my white color watered down again over the top in a few spots to add a little more depth, and once I was happy with how the whole thing was looking, I just stepped away and let it dry. Like I said, Fusion is waterproof once it's fully cured, but since this is a bathroom countertop that will need to be cleaned regularly, I did add 3 coats of Fusion's matte poly top coat with a damp sponge on top of my paint. Now all that's really left to do is decorate. Well, this is not at all what I had planned for this bathroom, but I'm kind of glad. I love the direction that this space took. I've decided to paint the floors as well. I just need to decide if I want to match this travertine look on the countertop or do a bold stencil design. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, and thank you to HOTO Tools for the excellent tool set that helped me out in here. Make sure to visit hototools.com and see what else they've got to offer. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will catch you all next time.